Hey everyone. So if you've been following the Last of Us series, you know that Season 2 just wrapped up with one of the most intense finales we've seen. And now, all eyes are on Season 3. Today, we're breaking down everything we know so far about what's coming next, from the major behind-the-scenes changes to the cast, the plot, and when we might actually see it. Let's dive in. Major behind-the-scenes changes. Alright, so first up, there are some pretty significant changes happening behind the scenes. Neil Druckmann and Hallie Gross, who were co-creators and heavily involved in the first two seasons, have officially stepped back from the series. This news dropped a few months ago, and yeah, a lot of fans have been wondering what this means for the show's direction. Basically, Druckmann is heading back to his day job as the head of Naughty Dog Studio, and he's working on their next big game release called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Druckmann talked to Variety about why he made this decision, and he said, "It was quite challenging to be as involved as a co-showrunner on Season 1 and Season 2, while running a studio and working and directing and writing a game." Now, Bella Ramsey, who plays Ellie, addressed this on Variety's Awards Circuit podcast. She said, "The world of The Last of Us is his creation, and so his voice and creative input. It doesn't just go away in Season 3 because he's not as actively involved. It will always be his creation, and we're always in everything that we do, honoring the game and Neil's creation. He'll definitely be missed on set, but his spirit is the story." So even though Druckmann won't be as hands-on, his influence is still going to be felt throughout the season. And speaking of Bella Ramsey, it's been confirmed that she'll be taking much more of a backseat in Season 3. Since the focus is shifting to Abby's story. Season 3 release date. Now let's talk about when we might actually get to see Season 3. Unfortunately, there's no confirmed release date yet, but here's what we do know. Casey Bloys, who's the HBO and Max Content chairman and CEO, has said they're still targeting a 2027 release. He told Variety, "The series is definitely planned for 2027. Craig Mazin is still working it out whether it will be 2 more seasons or 1 more long season. It hasn't been decided yet, and I'm following Craig's lead on that." So yeah, 2027 is the goal, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how that shakes out. As for when filming will actually start, Isabella Merced, who plays Dina, said in an interview that she doesn't know the exact start date for production, but she thinks it should be next year. So we're probably looking at filming kicking off sometime in 2026. How many episodes will Season 3 have? Here's something interesting. Co-creator Craig Mazin has confirmed that Season 3 will be longer than Season 2. Remember, Season 1 had 9 episodes, and then Season 2 surprised everyone with just 7 episodes. So could we be going back up to 9 or even more? Mazin told The Hollywood Reporter, "We're kind of fiddling around with that. It's a little bit of a trade secret at the moment. But I will say that Season 3 will be longer than Season 2. Season 3 will be more on par with Season 1. More bang for the buck." He also explained his thinking to Collider, saying, "There are natural perforations in the narrative where you can go, okay, let's tear it here. I think there's a decent chance that Season 3 will be longer than Season 2. Just because the manner of that narrative and the opportunities it affords us are a little different." He went on to say, "The thing about Joel's death is that it's so impactful. It's such a narrative nuclear bomb that it's hard to wander away from it. We can't really take a break and move off to the side and do a Bill and Frank story. I'm not sure that will necessarily be true for Season 3. I think we'll have a little more room there." And here's the kicker. Mazin also said, "But certainly there's no way to complete this narrative in a 3rd season. Hopefully we'll earn our keep enough to come back and finish it in a 4th. That's the most likely outcome." So it looks like we're getting at least 4 seasons total to wrap up this story. Who's returning for Season 3? Okay, let's talk cast. This is where things get really interesting. Since Season 3 has been confirmed to be all about Abby, Caitlin Dever is taking on the lead role. She was introduced in Season 2 as Ellie's antagonist and Joel's murderer. So there's definitely a lot more story to tell from her perspective. Now, at one point, it seemed like we might not see Ellie at all in Season 3, but Mason has confirmed we haven't seen the last of her. It looks like Ellie and Dina will still appear, just in a much smaller capacity. When pressed on how much of Ellie we'll be seeing in Season 3, Ramsey told Variety, "I sort of know, but I can't tell you, I'm afraid." Here's where it gets tricky. The finale had 3 major deaths: young Mazzino's Jesse, who was killed by Abby, and Spencer Lord's Owen and Ariella Bearer's Mel, who were both killed by Ellie. Plus, Taddy Gabrielle's Nora died in the previous episode. But here's the thing. Because the narrative is jumping back in time to follow Abby's story, and if you know the game, you know these characters are definitely coming back for Season 3. Ariella Bearer has already confirmed she'll be back, telling Collider, "I'm so excited to keep working with the WLF crew and Jeffrey Wright, who I've not worked with yet, but have met. He's awesome. There are little secrets that Craig has planted that I'm very excited to watch be extended. I won't elaborate more." Now, Catherine O'Hara has confirmed that Mazin told her she won't be in Season 3, and obviously neither will Joe Pantoliano, who played her on-screen husband Eugene, unless there are some unexpected flashbacks. And here's something fans have been asking about a lot. Will we see more of Pedro Pascal's Joel? Mazin hasn't ruled it out. He told TV Line, "All I can say is we haven't seen the last of Caitlin Dever, and we haven't seen the last of Bella Ramsey, and we haven't seen the last of Isabella Merced, and we haven't seen the last of a lot of people who are currently dead in the story." So I guess the short answer to that question that everyone is asking is, no, I'm not answering. Druckmann added, "I'll give a bit more, which is, whether you will see them on screen or not, their presence will be there throughout." So here's the expected cast returning for Season 3. Caitlin Dever as Abby, Bella Ramsey as Ellie, Isabella Merced as Dina, Gabriel Luna as Tommy, Danny Ramirez as Manny, young Mazzino as Jesse, Taddy Gabrielle as Nora, Ariella Bearer as Mel, Spencer Lord as Owen, Jeffrey Wright as Isaac, Alana Ubach as Hanrahan. What will Season 3 be about? Alright, so what's the actual story gonna be? Catherine O'Hara was the first to directly confirm that Season 3 is the Abby story, and the showrunners have since backed that up. If you remember the finale, it ended with the focus shifting from Ellie to Abby as she was woken up by Manny, and we got that Seattle Day 1 title card on screen. So we're going to be following Abby's journey in Season 3, just like what happens halfway through the second game. Craig Mazin talked to The Hollywood Reporter about this narrative shift, and he said, "I don't think television is supposed to work like this. We're clearly breaking quite a few rules, and I love that, and I love it because that is the point." He continued, "This is not something we're doing as a gimmick. The point of this story, and this is looked at from so many different angles in so many different ways, is that the entire concept of protagonist is flawed. The entire concept of villain is flawed. Our way of processing the world through heroes and villains is a mistake. It ends up creating these barriers between people that shouldn't be there. It ends up giving ourselves justifications and conveniences for bad behavior, and it ends up allowing us to judge others summarily for things that we don't quite understand the motivation behind it. We know this is a challenging thing to keep track of emotionally. We understand people are going to be provoked, but part of this story is about examining why we're so comfortable with following one person's point of view about everything." Mazin also said that putting together Season 3 feels like solving a puzzle. He told Collider, "It's never easy. We're now confronting all the same challenges for Season 3. They're fun challenges, but all those decisions get made before I start writing. We have a master plan, and we understand how everything works. That way, when you see things happening in this episode, you understand they're connected back to the very first episode. It's a holistic thing." He also revealed that the way Season 2 ended was completely intentional to set up Season 3. He said, "Now, we're actually in more of a traditional cliffhanger-y mode, where you're telling a story, and then you end the season with something that says, 'Whoa, This is going to change a whole bunch of things, and we'll see you when we get back and pick it up from there. Mazen also teased that more information will be coming about the Washington Liberation Front, the WLF, and the Seraphites. Both groups were introduced in Season 2, but we didn't get a ton of context about them. Mazen says, "No, you haven't gotten all the information you deserve. Yes, the information will be coming. We did this all by design." As for Ellie's story, we don't know exactly how much we'll see, but it's safe to assume the show will continue exploring her life after Joel's death and her relationship with Dina. Is there a trailer yet? And finally, is there a trailer? Nope, not yet. Since production on Season 3 hasn't even started yet, there's no trailer at the moment. But as soon as one drops, you know we'll be covering it. So that's everything we know about The Last of Us Season 3 so far. We're looking at a 2027 release, a longer season than Season 2, a major narrative shift to Abby's perspective, and a ton of characters coming back, even though they died in Season 2. What do you think about the shift to Abby's story? Are you excited to see her perspective, or are you going to miss having Ellie as the main focus? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates on The Last of Us and all your favorite shows. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.